Hi guys, it's Shannon. I'm going to be giving the front porch a winter makeover, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a faux shiplap snowman porch sign. So I'm starting with a 1x8 common board here, and I just squared off the first end and then cut it down to 43 inches long. You can also ask your hardware store to do this for you, or even use a handsaw if you don't have a big miter saw like I do here. Next, it's time to draw out the snowman on your wood, and this is a very primitive design, so I just freehanded it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you could use a bucket or a large bowl to get more symmetrical curves in your wood. And then I also made sure to leave the end flat. I didn't want to make the end rounded so it would sit up nicely on the porch. Then it was time to cut out the design. I'm using a jigsaw here. It's very inexpensive. You can even find these at Walmart. Mine is just a Black & Decker brand, so a very inexpensive brand. And I make sure I have blades that you can cut curves with, so that's something to keep in mind. And make sure that your jigsaw will cut curves as well, because mine has different settings on it. And I just took my time. It looks really quick and easy here, but you definitely want to be careful and make sure that you are keeping your fingers out of the way. Then it's time to sand. I'm using an orbital sander here, as well as 80 grit sandpaper. You just want to sand the whole top and bottom, as well as all the sides. So here's our snowman all cut out and sanded down and prepped and ready to go. So to finish it, I'm going to be using white and black chalk paint. I get this from a Walmart. I also have foam paintbrushes, one for each color. You'll need a black marker, and then this is a scrap 1x4 that I have, and we're going to use this to create the shiplap. So first I'm going to paint the body white and paint the hat black. If you'd like some sneak peeks and some behind the scenes footage, you can follow me over on my social media pages, both on Facebook and on Instagram. I will have those both linked down in the description box below. So here is our snowman all painted. He's just pretty basic. He's got a white body and a black hat, and now we're gonna add some detail. So now I'm gonna be using my scrap 1x4 and a Sharpie marker to make my shiplap lines all the way up the body. And then I'm gonna add some vertical lines and some little dots to look like nail holes, just to give him that cute little farmhouse faux shiplap look. So here is where that flat bottom of our wood sign comes in handy again. I just lined the 1x4 up flush with the bottom of the snowman to draw on my first line, and then I used each line that I drew as my guideline for the next one. So I just continued this all the way up from the bottom to all the way up to the top of the hat. And here is a closer look at how I am continuing the process of adding those faux shiplap lines. Once all of the horizontal lines were drawn, it was time to add a few vertical lines. So again, I'm using the bottom flat part of the sign to line up my 1x4 and use that as a guide to add on a few of those shiplap lines. And as you can see, my technique here was to do every other row so it didn't look too crowded or too messy. So just one every other line, and then I also didn't put them in a row, I just did them randomly so it looked a little bit more rustic that way. Then I added some dots to where those vertical lines are, one on each side, top and bottom. That way it looked like some little nail holes if you were doing like a true shiplap wood wall. So here's a close-up look of the placement of those little dots. And then next I added some roughed up edges. I didn't want it to look like the boards were super flush and perfect. I wanted to give it a little bit more of a distressed look, sort of like real shiplap would look, where there'd be some gaps in between the boards. So I'm just adding some extra Sharpie marker into a few spots here and there, and that gives it more of an authentic look. And here's a close-up look of my shiplap. I didn't want it to look so straight lined and perfect, so I added a little bit of distressing here with my marker, just to look like there was some gaps in between the shiplap. You can also see my little nail hole spots here, and it's a little bit still too crisp and clean for me, so I'm gonna go around the edges with my foam paintbrush and the black chalk paint, just to kind of define the edges a little bit and distress it a little more. And then I'm going to add a little bit of distressing to the hat as well. And now last, I am going to give him a scarf. This is from the Dollar Tree. It was one of those fleece scarves that I had used on another tutorial, which if you'd like to see that one, I will link that down in the description box below if you'd like to watch that after. So this is just left over from that project, and I'm going to trim this down to fit around the neck and tie a little knot and fray the edges a little bit with my scissors, and he will be ready to go outside. I also wanted to add here that you most likely will want to seal your wood sign before you put it outside. I like to use polyacrylic. It comes in a can. It's kind of near the wood stains, and I like it because it is non-yellowing and it's great. It's a really hard polyurethane, so it's definitely going to protect your wood signs that are going to be going outside from the elements. I couldn't be more in love with how this cute little snowman turned out. It is definitely an alternative to the traditional welcome sign, or even one that says let it snow, which are super cute too, but I wanted something different, something a little bit more farmhouse and rustic, and I thought it was so cute to add to the front porch for winter time. Even though I created a snowman using this shiplap technique, you could also use it to create your own backgrounds for wood signs. You could add it to furniture, to walls even. So let me know down in the comments below, if you were to use this technique, where would you use it? In your home, outside, on a craft? I'd love to know. Let me know down in the comments below. I hope that this tutorial inspired you. Make sure to give it a thumbs up for me. You can also hit the share button that's underneath this video and share this to your Pinterest page or share it with your friends and family. I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and join our DIY family. I love to bring you new inspiration every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on my YouTube channel, The Daily DIYer. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.